Hi everybody, I'm Jason Harrelson, and today I want to share with you my story and my history as it pertains to trumpets, trumpet building, of course, trumpet playing. Many of you already know that I started playing trumpet when I was very young, and I wasn't very good at it. Some of you also know that I've had a lot of different challenges in my life. Well, I want to give you a summary of who I am and why you may want to consider giving me a call and trusting me to help you as your partner to achieve better results on the trumpet. And that can include everything from, creating the kind of sound profile you're looking for, or improving mouthpiece fit, helping you with your embouchure, helping you with your instrument itself, all those things. In reality, I see the whole thing as a package. You do have to practice. You do have to put in time and effort, and you do have to know what you're doing. But I go several steps further. I want you to understand the physics of how and why the brass instruments work. I also want you to understand how and why I've developed so many different solutions that were really designed to help you and all the customers that I have throughout the world. So let me give you my 15-minute spiel of why I believe you should trust Harrelson Trumpets. First off, let's look at the trumpet that is on this monitor right here. This is very different from a trumpet you would find from another manufacturer. And you can see it's got extra bracing on it. It's got an unusual looking belt crook. The mouthpiece looks somewhat integral into the receiver. The lead pipe is different, it's thicker. The top and bottom caps are different, and even the tuning slide also is different. But let's talk about what's the same on this instrument, because there really isn't that much that's an original trumpet design. The bell, for the most part, is somewhat traditional. Now, it's bigger and broader, meaning that it's got a larger diameter. But overall, this bell is not that different in terms of the dimensions and the materials right now. So that bell on that horn is somewhat traditional. What I have done is reinvented the way that we get the sound wave to the bell, because we want the bell to resonate. So my focus here is to increase efficiency, and I've incorporated some technology in different parts of the horn to increase versatility so we can modify it for each player. And the end goal is to make it fit you so that you can play with the kind of tone, color, and projection and accuracy that you would want to play with. So the bell, for the most part, is somewhat traditional. The pistons are somewhat traditional as well. There are some changes here, but nothing really drastic. And the rest of the horn has been completely redesigned. So let me tell you why I took it upon myself to redesign trumpets over the last 25 years. First off, when I started playing trumpet, I loved the sound of music. I loved, it sounds kind of cliche, but it's true. When I was in 5th grade, I just loved being in band. And as I got older and into high school, I loved the sound of being in band because it was like this huge pipe organ and you're sitting in the middle of it. The problem was I was not focused on learning how to play the instrument. In fact, I had many other things on my mind when I was younger, and I didn't practice at all. The first day when I went home with my trumpet, I took it out of the case and I went to plug in a lamp, and there was a faulty wiring section of the outlet, and I got electrocuted. When I came to on the floor, my mom was standing over me, completely freaked out, and for some reason or another, I never felt the desire to pull my horn out of my case and play it ever again until I was in 11th grade. So when I was in 11th grade, long story short, I became very inspired to practice and to work hard and to become a great musician. And I do believe that I'm a very musical person with great proficiency in the trumpet. I believe I am a trumpet expert. There are thousands of people that I have worked with over the years, and I'm telling you that because I'm confident in my skills and my understanding of the instrument and of the psychology and the physiology of trumpet players and brass players in general. I see myself as one of the premier experts in the world on trumpet design and, of course, the playing and the proficiency side as well. So how did I get there and what happened? Well, it started with me being completely, overwhelmingly inspired to play the trumpet. And for that, I have to thank Gary Tangen, who was my band director in Billings, Montana, when I really started taking it seriously, because he gave me the inspiration to really take it as far as I can. And today I'm 44 years old. I can say that I feel like I'm halfway into that journey. I'm really, really, truly devoted and loving what I do. I'm passionate about my work. You can see it in my work. You can hear it in my playing. And you, of course, can experience it in person when you come visit me in Denver, Colorado. The reason I love trumpet so much is actually because I was so bad at it. So I was so bad that I sat last chair. Then I practiced really hard for 1 week, and I got moved up to first chair. Then I moved up to different bands and went to college and did different things, and I was never the best trumpet player after that, because what I learned was there's always someone better. No matter how much time and energy you put in, someone can do something better than you. And my goal has never been to be the best trumpet player, because, I don't know, that's kind of a weird ego thing. For me, my goal was to love playing the trumpet and to love making music. I play other instruments as well, and I love those too. If you sit me down at the piano, I don't want to get up. So, how did I become so passionate about trumpet? Well, the truth is I had very serious struggles with my embouchure, with my equipment, with my understanding of how to perform on a brass instrument. In other words, understanding the physics approach. And all of my teachers told me, ignore the physics, ignore the science. You don't need to think that way. We're musicians. We don't think about math or science. Put that stuff away and stop thinking about it. You're wasting your time. And I heard that from so many great musicians and professors that one day I suddenly realized, you know what? These guys are lying to me. And they're lying to themselves. And I truly 100% believe that being a role model in any sport or any art or anything related to skill requires you to give your students and your fans and everyone else a full disclosure understanding of what is involved. And those teachers missed the ball entirely. Their bar was so low that they could just hop over it and they didn't care because they saw me as somebody who was in the dark. And honestly, I am quite ashamed of a lot of the trumpet community when they do things like that. When they say, oh, just forget about physics. Don't think about equipment. You don't need to do any of those things. The truth is the exact opposite. Because if you were to look at any sport today, let's say you're looking at golf, the best golfers don't go out there with wooden golf clubs, literally made out of bamboo and hardwood that were made by hands using technology from the 17 and 1800s. They don't do that. But trumpet players go into battle at the gigs day and night over and over again, and they bring in instruments that are literally designed with 100 or 200-year-old techniques and manufacturing processes. The science that has evolved since the trumpet or the golf club was invented has been exponentially helpful to all of society. Why would we ignore that when it comes to playing the trumpet? Let's look at a few other sports, like motorsports. So motorsports became big in the 1900s, and we had all these huge races, and people got faster and faster and better and better. And today, of course, it's very, very competitive. The times that people are winning are incredibly fast, and the amount of acceleration and deceleration and cornering that is possible in auto sports today is completely ridiculous. But we got there through technology, we got there through skill, we got there using the same understanding and techniques that the original race car drivers used. So we didn't abandon all the old stuff, but we embraced the technology. If we look at downhill skiing, you can see the same thing. The skis got better, the boots got better, even the poles, the safety equipment, and the skills, the training, most of it is based on tradition. So I'm not against learning how to play the trumpet in a somewhat traditional way as long as it's productive. Picking up the horn and making beautiful sound is what it's all about, creating musicality. You can do that on an instrument that was made or designed like an instrument that was made in the 1800s, you can do that. However, you are never going to perform at the same level of potential as you would if you were on a modern instrument that was designed to give you advantages. And people want to go around and around about this all day long. If you get on the internet, there's all these arguments. Oh, just play on an old benge. Well, truthfully, benges aren't really that old. Play on an old French Besson. Play a canstool. Play a shilky. Don't play Monette because they're too heavy, and that's a bad thing. Well, that statement is completely lacking in understanding and knowledge. And I'm not going to get into that now. You can watch some of my other videos. But the truth is, adding weight to a horn doesn't necessarily do anything evil or bad or deadening to the horn. I've built the brightest horns you could ever hear, and they may have weighed 3 or 4 pounds. And I've built some of the darkest horns you would ever hear, and they only weighed 1 pound. Weight literally does not equate to the sound. So you hear a lot of things. 99% of you probably have heard most of the major myths out there, and for one reason or another have accepted them without thinking about it. But the truth is, modern technology, modern science, well, just science in general, whether it's modern or not, it can be reproduced. Science allows us to discover things that would make your instrument play easier and better. So, without going on and on about that, I want to show you a few things here. We're going to go to my website, and if you want to learn more about how and why I believe you should trust me, then you should really just get onto my website, which is whyharrelson.com. Why Harrelson? In other words, it's a question. Why would you choose Harrelson? Why Harrelson.com? There's another website, HarrelsonTrumpets.com. It just leads you directly to this one. That's because I want you to understand why. Almost every client who calls me and asks me to build them a horn, they've already looked at the website, or they already know a lot about my horns through Instagram or Facebook, where they visited, or they have a friend who's a client. And they're already ready to get on board and trust me because I have a reputation for trust. Probably the most difficult part of this company is actually working with all the customers with all their intricate different challenges, and then making them happen on a specific timeline. So truthfully, we make amazing products, and we will guarantee we can solve your problems. However, some of you have asked for things that are very difficult or unusual, and then they may take longer. So sometimes we have a reputation for being slow. The truth is, if you order a regular trumpet that we normally build without crazy artwork on it, the wait list isn't that long. So here you can see the instruments, but what I want to do is go to performance. And if you go down here, it says I want to play with more comfort, less effort, flexibility, and adjust airflow. These are 3 choices because I want to know, what do you want to work on? And maybe you want to work on all of that. That's okay. But if you want to work on more comfort, first we're going to talk about what does that mean. But that usually is going to bring us into the modular mouthpiece system. And I have one right here. The modular mouthpiece is guaranteed to improve your playing and to really fit you better, both in terms of your physical on your lips and your teeth, and working with your embouchure, your specific style, as well as more comfortable in terms of airflow, and then to create the type of tone quality that you want. But this mouthpiece was designed to improve your efficiency, making it easier, and then be modular so we can then fine tune it for every single player to find the kind of sound profile you're looking for. So we increase the comfort, endurance. With that comes usually some range gains if you're working on that. And we can find the sound profile, the color you're looking for, the projection, and make it fit the horn that you're putting it on. Whether you're putting it into a Bach, a Yamaha, a Harrelson, a Monette, whatever horn you're putting it into, we make them to fit everything. So these are mouthpieces. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to choose less effort. All right, so on less effort, we make mod kits. And this little set of finger buttons, top caps, and bottom caps is proven to improve the efficiency of your horn. Now that's a whole nother side of our business that is incorporated in everything we do. It's called standing wave efficiency, or SWE technology. So we use SWE technology really to improve efficiency on any horn, including our own. I'm going to go back. Now we're going to do flexibility and adjust airflow. Okay, so here's one reason that you should seriously consider calling me if you're having any difficulties with flexibility, slotting, airflow, comfort, any of those things. Because the truth is, I've spent the last 25 years studying these things, both in the physics lab, in our own lab here at Harrelson Trumpets, and in the real world experiences as both a trumpet player, myself playing in almost every genre, as well as working with all my clients who of course are professionals down to amateurs in every genre as well. So we have a ton of experience here. You should draw on that and let us help you. But the VPS, or Variable Performance System, this is one of the biggest innovations that we've created in the last 5 or 6 years. This allows us to give you the tools to adjust flexibility, slotting, and airflow anytime you want. And we can do that a few different ways, but one of them is through the Venturi gap receiver. This is something that's integral in most Harrelson trumpets, but you can add it to any other horn. Okay, I'm going to go back one more time. And really, I told you that I'm very passionate about trumpet playing, and just music in general, but I'm most passionate about making sure that you achieve success, that you're on the path to getting better, improving what you're doing, and reaching your goals. If you tell me you want to be principal of the Chicago Symphony, then I'm going to probably sit down with you for a few minutes and say, look, if you're serious about that position, you need to take a hard look in the mirror and see if it's within yourself to put that much time and energy, have the determination and the courage and the strength and the passion to go for that kind of a position, because that's the premier top. Okay? And we can have that conversation. If you're the person that's going to be the next principal of the Chicago Symphony, I will work with you. If that's your goal and you may not get there, but you get close, I will work with you. But if you're not that person and you just want to get better at community band, I am still the person that's going to help you there. I'm your coach. I will help you get from point A to point B. I can't guarantee you're going to become principal of Chicago Symphony, but at the same time, we need to take a look in the mirror and decide, hey, are my goals realistic? Am I going to achieve all the steps involved in getting to that goal? All right. So if you're going to be a professional trumpet player for the rest of your life, then I want you to look in the mirror and really, truly be honest with yourself and figure that out. Are you really going to put in the time and the energy and be dedicated to make it there? And if you are, then you will, I'm sure, because I was and I did. And it was just a lot of work. It was a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of love. All right. So we've got this section of the website, and I'm going to go back over here to Advantage. Under Advantage, you have a few options, but if you just click on it, basically I give you an overview of why our company is so great. And I am generally a very humble person, but I will tell you that you are watching a video from a company that's truly great. We are the leaders in our industry. And I can say that with confidence because I am the one that helped build this business to what it is today. We have a team, we work very hard together, and we are always working to find the results for each individual, but we are a great company that is devoted to our customers. And that is why we're so successful, because people do trust us. They come to us, and when they have problems, they give me a call or they text me and say, hey Jason, I know it's Sunday night, but I'm having an issue. Can you help me? And if I can answer the phone and get to that and help you, I will. And if I can't, first thing Monday morning, I'll make sure that one of us gets on the phone and we handle the situation because we care. All right, so this section is going to tell you a synopsis of how and why our company is great. Because we innovated, we created solutions that are going to help you. If you go down here, one below, we're talking about the Harrelson Story. I didn't finish the Harrelson Story. I didn't finish, what happened with me. I became inspired. I went to college for math, science, psychology. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. In the end, I studied music composition, trumpet performance, science and math, and psychology. I was really into everything, and I loved all of it. But what I found was there's a lot of psychology involved in understanding how brass instruments and instrumentalists approach their instruments. A lot of us will explain things in a way that isn't true. That's psychology. A lot of us will think we're hearing something that we're not, and we'll describe it in a way that it isn't happening. And we do this commonly. Brass players do this all the time, and that's because we lack the tools to objectively understand and explain what's going on. So, let me put it very simply. Psychology is a huge part of my job, of me being able to help you. Because when you tell me something, I'm going to ask you a few questions and get down to the root of it. Are you saying that the tone color is dark or that it is bright? Because your words may be saying both. Are you saying that you're using more airflow or less? Or do you really know? Let's measure it and find out. Okay, so in the Harrelson Story, I eventually dropped out of college just before I was finished. I started building trumpets for a living. Then I became a police officer in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then I went on to become a Grand Canyon tour guide. I did many other things. I became a music school teacher, teaching students of all ages all the way through college. And then I eventually became a professional coach for professional players who are on Grammy award-winning albums or have produced them themselves. I really went a long ways. I became a performer. I performed on Broadway. I did a lot of different things in my career, but the entire time I was really focused on how can I help people. When I was a police officer, I started that job because I wanted to help people. All these stereotypes about how cops are bad people, the truth is I've known hundreds of cops, and 98% of them were really good people. The 2% that I didn't like are the reason that we have all these stupid headlines, and I wish we could get rid of that. But the truth is, I went there because I love helping people. When I saw somebody in need or in danger, I was the guy that would run in and try to help, because that's who I am. And I found that that's a very dangerous career. I knew that going in, but it wasn't as rewarding as I had hoped, because the truth is, when I helped people, they usually didn't say thank you, and they were very mean to me in return for helping them. And that just wasn't a good situation for me, so I went back to music. And then I basically devoted my life to helping trumpet players, because I struggled so hard getting through my embouchure and my equipment problems before I could eventually really experience true success on the trumpet, that I vowed that when I figure this out, I'm going to share it with everyone I can. Now, the truth is I can't share it for free. That's the reality of society today. No one's going to pay me to give that away for free. I have to do it for money. That is how our system works. So I would love to be able to help every single person for free, but I would literally be doing it day and night, never getting any sleep, and I'd be broke. So we do it for money, but we also give you a ton of value. We give you the best solutions possible, whether you're buying equipment or whether you're paying for lessons and clinics and things like that. I'm here to help you. So what happened with me? Eventually I started this company and I grew this company. And truly the last 15, probably 17 or 18 solid years, I have been focused on just building this company. I started this really in 1992 is when I started experimenting with the physics. And then I really got serious about it in about 94 and 95. So that was about 25 years ago. But the last 17 or 18 years is when I really became serious about helping you and developing all these concepts and all of these systems that I've put in place. So I would encourage you to check out my website, check out the Advantage section, read the rest of my Harrelson Story, and the technology and all the other things under here. I am going to cut this short because I don't want to make it a really long video, and just say I'm happy to meet you, and I would love to meet you here in Denver, Colorado. Or if you can't make it here, we can do a Skype session or a Facebook video, or even just meet on the phone or email. But I am here for you. I just want you to know that when it comes to working with our company, we have a lot of great successes. We have very few failures, but we have had some, and I'll own them. If you find a trumpet out there that somehow still exists where I messed something up, then bring it to me and we'll work on it, because there were a few horns that I didn't do things right, and I'll own any mistakes. Of course, those were like 15 years ago, so you can give me a little bit of a break. But I stand 100% behind everything I do and everything I create and all of the advice that I give you. So feel free to visit our website, yharrelson.com, or give us a call. My number is 303-657-2747. That's a completely shameless plug because I'm nothing but proud of what I do, and I can't wait to meet you and see what we can do together. Thanks.